Right, hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be making my predictions for game week number 11 of the EFL Championship 25-26 season. But as always, before we begin, let's have a look and see how I did last week. I got no scorelines correct, so no bob-ons, but I did get 5 outcomes correct, so that is 5 points, taking my season total up to 66. And here is how the championship table looks after 10 matches. And without further ado, let's get into this midweek set of matches. We're in the middle of the first 3-game week in a row in the championship, so lots of football to come. And let's see how, let's begin predicting this week's matches. And we start instantly with a tricky one. It's Hull against Leicester. And this one is interesting because Leicester drew 1-1 with Portsmouth, and that was at the King Power. So I've got the results on my phone here. I'm looking at them. And Hull beat Birmingham. Yeah, that's right. Hull beat Birmingham 3-2. And with Hull being at home, I fancy them to get something here. I'm not quite going to go for the win here, but looking at both teams' forms, I'm going to sit on the fence with a Desmond on this one, a 2-2 draw. I think, a draw should keep Leicester in the playoffs, and Hull, a draw will keep them pushing up the table. So 2-2 is what I'm going on game 1 here. Next up, we've got Millwall against Stoke, and I just look at this one and think this has draw written all over it straight away. Millwall got a win. They beat QPR on the road last week, 2-1. Stoke got a win at home, 1-0 against Wrexham. The first game in the Championship this season, Wrexham haven't scored. Sorry. Yeah, I think this game has draw written all over it. So I'm going to sit on the fence with a 1-1 draw. If I had to pick a winner here, I may pick Millwall, given they're on better form at the minute. But I can't go against the Stoke side that's been impressive this season, so 1-1 is what I'm going on game 2 here. And next up, we've got a relegation 6-pointer. It's Blackburn Rovers against Sheffield United. And, Sheffield United have finally started to gel. Again under Chris Wilder. They got a win 1-0 last week. I predicted a draw. But they finally got the ball rolling, and against the Blackburn side, who have been fairly subdued with their results this season, I think Sheffield United start to get the ball rolling faster here. I'm going for them to win 2-1. I think Chris Wilder's boys are starting to push forward. I don't think there's going to be a lot in the game, that's what I'll say, especially with it being at Ewood Park. But, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Sheffield United somehow kept a narrow clean sheet and it ended 1-0 or something. But I'm going with 2-1. I'm going for more goals in this one. But Sheffield United ultimately get the win in game 3 here. Next up, we've got Ipswich Town against Charlton Athletic. And this is, this is kind of a tricky one. Charlton got a 2-1 win against Sheffield Wednesday last week. Ipswich lost 2-1 on Friday night to Middlesbrough. But that was at Middlesbrough's ground. And the thing with Ipswich is they're on better form at home. And Charlton have been up and down with their results at times this season. So I do think I'm going to back Ipswich for the win here. Ipswich are on a fairly good run of form at home. And I'm going for Ipswich to win 2-1. I think Kieran McKenna's team are going to be firing at home. I think when Charlton are back at home, this coming weekend, I'll back them to win, or get a result. I don't know who they play yet, but 2-1 Ipswich is where I'm going on this one. Next up, we've got Portsmouth against Coventry. And this is probably one of the trickier ones to predict this week, because Coventry are on red-hot form. They're top of the league, scoring many goals. I think it's 27 goals in 10 matches, which is insane. The thing is, against Blackburn at the CBS last week, they took a while to score their first goal. And I don't know, after the international break, things just don't seem to be, gelling as much as they were beforehand. And Portsmouth, it's at Fratton Park. I like Portsmouth to get results at home. So this may be controversial. This may be an unpopular decision, but I'm going for a draw on this one. 1-1. I think both sides will take a draw. Coventry especially. We'll go on to second place Middlesbrough in a little bit. But, yeah. I just think at Fratton Park, Portsmouth can get something out of the game, so 1-1. Next up, we've got Preston against Birmingham. And I think I fancy the home side on this one. Birmingham lost 3-2 to Hull last week, and Hull... Birmingham, they think they were saying, after the match, they were thinking about, bringing new management, new strategists, and, things aren't looking as good as they once were in the summer at Birmingham. As for Preston, they're on fairly good form. I think I do back Preston. I think it's going to be low scoring here. I'm going to back Preston to win 1-0. I think it's going to be a very cagey game, and I think one goal will decide it, and that will be Preston's. So 1-0 Preston is where I'm going, to the home side. Next up, we've got Derby County against Norwich City. And Norwich have been better away on the road this season. Derby I do like at home. I think to push away from the relegation zone, they need to get results. And against the Norwich side under Liam Manning, who's really struggling at the moment, I can see Derby winning this. I'm going to go for Derby here. I'm going 2-1. I think Norwich will get a goal from somewhere, but I think somehow Derby will get the win at home here, so 2-1 Derby. Next up, we've got Bristol City against Southampton. And Bristol City got that last-minute 1-0 win on the road at Norwich. Southampton at St Mary's played Swansea and ended 0-0. But here's the thing, I'm not entirely convinced by Will Still this season. And Bristol City under Gerhard Struber they've been on good form this season over the first 10 matches. And I remember this game last time Southampton were down in the Championship. I went to the pub and watched it, and Bristol City beat us 3-1. They beat us 3-1, and that ended our unbeaten run of 20-odd games, I think it was. And we're not quite on an unbeaten run here, but I fancy Bristol City at home here to get the result over the line. And knowing how Southampton can concede, I'm going for the same scoreline as last time. 3-1 Bristol City. I've been impressed by them this season. And this is the first time I've gone against Southampton since Gameweek 1 against Wrexham, but 3-1 Bristol City. I think City just have too much in the tank for the Southampton squad at the minute. And that may end Will Still's reign of management too. Next up, we have got Swansea against QPR. And this is another tricky one. Swansea drew 0-0 with Southampton. QPR lost 2-1 to Millwall. I mean, if QPR were at home, I'd back them for the win, probably. They are still slightly on better form than Swansea, but And with it being at the Swansea.com Stadium, I think it's called, I am going for a 1-1 draw. I think both sides are going to pick up a point here and keep their, slightly keep their run up the table towards the playoffs, especially QPR going. So 1-1 is what I'm going on this one. Next up, we've got Watford against West Brom. Watford under new management. Can't quite remember who they bought in. And West Brom, I think they got the win over the line over the weekend. I think West Brom are starting to push forward gradually. I think they're in the playoffs actually, in 6th place. Watford at home though, they tend to be kind of cagey. They tend to get results over the line here and there. But I do fancy West Brom in this one. And we're looking at some of the goals West Brom have scored this season. I'm going to back them to win 2-1. 2-1 to the away side. I think West Brom need to win to stay in the playoffs. And I think 2-1 is what they'll do. Next up, we've got Wrexham against Oxford United. These two, I believe... Did they come up from League One together? Oh, no, wait. Oxford got promoted the season before, that's right. But, I look at this and it's at the racecourse. I do fancy Wrexham more at home this season. Oxford have been good this season, but at times. But I do fancy Wrexham here. I'm going for Wrexham to win 2-0. I think they might score a couple goals. Here, Wrexham's attacking force looks too strong for this Oxford side at the minute. And I feel like Wrexham needs the result after they lost last week. I think they need to bounce back with a win here and keep the momentum going if they want to be anywhere near that playoff conversation this season. So 2-0 Wrexham. And then the final game is Sheffield Wednesday against Middlesbrough. And Sheffield Wednesday being the home side confuses me. They could pick up a result here. But against the Middlesbrough side who is firing right now this season, firing on all cylinders, I am going to back them to win. And fairly heavy. I'll give Sheffield Wednesday a goal, but I'm backing Middlesbrough to win it 3-1. I think Middlesbrough just have too much quality in the tank at the minute. And I think they'll get the win over the line 3-1. And with my predictions, with Coventry drawing, I don't know if that puts Middlesbrough back to the top of the table. Could be by just... Coventry could be topped by goal difference. I'll have a look at that. But I think that could put Middlesbrough back top. And there you have it, guys. All 12 championship matches for this midweek done and dusted. We'll see how well these predictions turn out to be. Probably not that good, but anyway, yeah, we'll see how well I do this midweek. And of course, Premier League predictions back tomorrow. Then I'll probably, I don't know, maybe Thursday I might make the championship predictions again for this weekend. So lots of football predictions still coming, and I'll see you all in the next one.